Hey guys, it's Shadow Flyer. Today I want to talk about a common misconception about grade potential. So first I want to explain what I mean by grade potential, and that is the quote-unquote cap of a student's potential to get certain grades. It's kind of what they expect to get, so like their average grade, but also just a mindset of what you can achieve and what you normally achieve. And it comes from an early age. It comes from when you're either in high school, junior high, you can even form as early as elementary. It's what you're used to getting is what you'll expect to get in the future. So if you're a C student through elementary and junior high, then in high school you tend to expect to get C. If you're an A student, you will try to get A. And the issue with this quote-unquote grade potential is the fact that it seems to be accurate. And the reason I say seems is because if you expect to get a C, you'll get a C. If you expect to get an A, it's not guaranteed you'll get an A, but most likely you'll know how much you'll have to work in order to get the A, and so you'll perform very similar to how you expect to perform. And so the issue is you tend to get into almost like a rhythm. You see the trend of I tend to get these kind of grades, so that's what you expect to get, even though that's not necessarily what you could get. You are effectively letting your grade potential define who you are in the sense of what kind of grades you can get, even though it may not truly line up with how you could perform. Anybody can be a good student and get those kind of grades like A's and B's. The issue is how hard you're trying, how long you're trying, and just putting in the effort and sticking with it. A lot of people lack the actual work necessary to get the grades they want, because for some people it can't come easy. Kind of like we'll put it on a basketball player or a soccer player. If you are raised very young playing basketball or soccer, then when you get older, when you play on a bigger team, a better team, it's just a little bit easier for you. You're used to it, and you're just better at it. The same is true with grades. So if you're raised in a household where your parents expect you to get A's, then for pretty much the rest of your life, you're expecting yourself to get A's. Now, this can change. Some people start off good and they decide that it's not worth the effort, and then their grades go down. Or sometimes it's the opposite, where they get bad grades in high school, but then by the time they get to college, they realize, you know what, I want to change this. And this can happen to you. And I want to help you see that you can change it for the better. You can be a C student your whole life and then change your mindset to realize, you know what, I can do this. It may not be easy, but you have to be willing to put in the work to do it. You need to be able to start the work, which a lot of people do. They'll start training and training their mind really to figure out what works for them, how the best way for them to study and get good grades, but they'll realize it's not as easy as it looks for some people, so they'll give up. I don't know, for some reason this reminds me of a lot of people who start dieting. You can start dieting, but if you don't actually continue and put in the work, you're never going to get the results you want. And it's the exact same thing when it comes to getting good grades. You can start anytime trying to get good grades, but if you don't continue to push yourself to continue to get those good grades, then you'll never really get the great results that you always wanted. There will be times that you wonder why you're doing it and if it's actually worth it, but I'm telling you from just how I've lived and how I've been raised, when you put in that mindset of I can do this, and you just start looking for ways to do it, it will come a lot easier once you get used to it. The issue is getting used to it. So, all I can say is you need to just start. Don't be afraid to start, and understand it may not go perfectly the first few times you try, but you will get better. And you can get that great potential to change. You don't need to always be at the same level you're at now. You can always improve. You can always learn more and apply what you're learning to whatever career or whatever you decide to do. It's just a matter of you putting in that extra work, even when it doesn't seem like you really want it or need it. You just have to persevere and get through it. So start, continue, and fight through any struggles you have along the way, and I guarantee you'll eventually find your goal just coming by, and eventually you'll just pass. It's like, oh, it's in the rearview mirror. You'll get it, guys. That's all I have for today. Have a great day, guys.